Oburu, tafuta SG wako. Mimi siwezi kuwa SG wa Oburu. Hiyo nataka niseme hapa mbele ya Mwenyezi Mungu na mbele ya taifa zima. I will not be the SG of mediocrity after Baba Raila Amolo Odinga. You characters don't deserve me. I will say this without fear or favor.
Allow me first to start this conversation by giving you a little of a story in the Bible. When Joseph gave out the dream to his brothers, together with the family, with the mother, together with the father, about the 11 stars, the moon and the sun bowing down to him, his brothers decided to sell him to Egypt. In fact, they started mistreating him. After the mistreatment, they sold him to the passers-by who were going to Egypt. But in that process, what these people did not know, or what Joseph's brothers did not know, that they were doing this for a man who is one day going to become a prime minister in a certain land, in a foreign land, who would one day come and rescue them. The reason why I brought that story is because of this conversation. Now, in this video, I would like you to go with me from the beginning up to the end so that we can understand what is going on in the party of ODM, linking Odinga's family, Edwin Sifuna, together with all these people that are trying so hard that they can deal with Edwin Sifuna. As we speak right now, Edwin Sifuna is one of those people or one of those politicians who have crowd. I normally say that sometimes we might be thinking that we have crowd, but crowd doesn't make kings, or crowd cannot make a president. Suppose we are looking at the crowd, or suppose we were determining a leader by the crowd that follows him, then Raila Odinga could have been the president before his death. But that aside, let's ask ourselves this question. That right now, the only person that people expected or people thought that would defend Edwin Sifuna is Mama Ida Odinga. But then she is silent. Why is she silent? Or what is going on? Is she also in the same basket or in the same vehicle like Oburu Odinga, like Junet Mohammed, like Otiende Amolo, like Gladys Wanga, like Peter Kaluma, and all those people that have been working so hard to chase Edwin Sifuna from ODM? And what benefit are these people going to gain? Or what is it that these people are going to get while chasing or after chasing Edwin Sifuna away? When ODM announced the removal of Edwin Sifuna as the SG, many expected Odinga's family to rally behind the party leadership. Instead, Mama Ida Odinga raised questions. And of course, we all remember the questions that she raised, that have really sparkled a lot of fresh debates about the future of ODM. Is this just an internal party wrangles? That is the kind of question that we need to ask. That is this just an internal party dispute or wrangles? Or does it really reveal a deeper battle for souls of the Orange Democratic Party? If you ask me, I will tell you that it might look like an individual dispute, that it might look like these people are fighting an individual without knowing that they've really created a very big hole or a very big heartbreak in between ODM, that a very big hole that it will be very difficult for them to fill. It's like somebody who has been digging a latrine. For those who understand the latrines that are normally at the up country, it is like somebody who have been digging a grave, a latrine, or maybe kisima cha maji in a wrong place. And then now, after realizing that that place was wrong or the land was not yours, you are being forced now to fill back the soil. It will take you time. It will really take you time, because now it will cost you, because you have already paid the people, the workers. Now it is up to you now to find ways on how you can resolve all these problems. It is going to take these people time to come into the terms with what they are doing. Again, it's going to take ODM. I don't think if it can take Edwin Sifuna time, because Edwin Sifuna has already gotten used to this. I want us to look at some of the points or some of the reasons why people are asking, or some of the reasons why Mama Ida Odinga is silent, because Edwin Sifuna is remaining with two positions. Actually, let me call them three positions. Number one, Edwin Sifuna is remaining with the Senator of Nairobi County, in which he was elected under the party of ODM. Another one, Edwin Sifuna is still in the committee. Remember, the senatorial committee that is normally looking, or is normally trying to grill the counties. Edwin Sifuna is still there. And the last position is the position of the minority leader at the Senate. These two positions, number one, the minority leader of the Senate and this committee, were given to Edwin Sifuna by the late Raila Amolo Odinga, after knowing very well that Edwin Sifuna is a good person and could do that. The question is, after Oburu had kicked Edwin Sifuna out of the energy committee at the Senate, will he still follow Edwin Sifuna and kick him out as the minority leader of ODM party at the Senate? Will Edwin Sifuna still survive in that committee of grilling county officers? My thought is that Oburu is watching, and after declaring that right now he cannot work with Edwin Sifuna any longer, and that Edwin Sifuna, if it's possible, Edwin Sifuna can go and join Rigathi Gachagua or any other person, Oburu is looking for that, and probably that is his next move. But do you think all these things that these guys are doing are not making Edwin Sifuna? Do you really think that they are trying to destroy Edwin Sifuna? Because according to them, they are thinking that they are destroying this lawyer man. But according to me, if I am asked, I would say that let them continue doing it. Because at the end of the day, this man Edwin Sifuna is stronger. This man Edwin Sifuna is growing to be stronger day by day, and is bigger than ODM right now as a whole. In as much as Ida Odinga's voice still carries weight, but it cannot change the fact that these people have now kicked Edwin Sifuna out officially. They did that yesterday. That Edwin Sifuna is not an SG of ODM, but he can still be a member. Many people are saying that Ida Odinga is not just an ordinary party member, that she has been one of the ODM's most respected figure for decades, since they started the party with the late husband. And then there's also saying that her comments are often viewed as reflecting concern for the party's founding ideas. And lastly, some are saying that when she questions a major decision, people pay attention. But which people will pay attention to the current affairs of ODM? Which people will pay attention when Ida Odinga raises a question concerning kicking Edwin Sifuna out as the SD? The catchy part of this is this. In ODM, not every statement moves the needle. But when Mama Ida Odinga speaks, it's like the entire party is going to listen. Not every person is going to be listened to by the ODM leadership. Gladys Wanga cannot listen to anybody. Not talk about Oburu, who is just stamping, saying that he is the party leader and he cannot work with Edwin Sifuna, and that Edwin Sifuna can go and look for his own party. Number two, we all know very well that Edwin Sifuna became the voice of the party. Ever since he became the SG of ODM, people have been listening to him. He has been vocal. He has been submissive to the late Raila Odinga. And he built his reputation as a vocal defender of ODM positions. When you try to look at the country as a whole, even some parts of the country where ODM is said to be strong.
Wanafikiria hiyo gari ya bendera, wengine wetu hatutoshi kuingia ndani. Vile umesema, they are saying a lot of things about us. Wanasema sisi ni vijana wadogo, hati unahitaji pesa, mabilioni ya pesa, wanatutisha, hawataki tufanye mikutano yetu. Lakini wewe mwenyewe umesema ya kwamba this thing will not end with our generation, kwa sababu neno la Mungu bado liko, hata kama Sifuna hatafika. Unajua nyinyi mnajua historia yangu, si ndio? I am not the first Sifuna, by the way.
But then you see, there is this big question that people are asking, that what direction is ODM taking? Now, as a person, I would say that ODM had already taken their direction long time ago when they decided to join the government. And right now, you hear them saying every day that they are not in opposition and they can never die in opposition. That they've been opposing the government since 1963, and therefore it is their time to enjoy, it is their time to eat, it is their time to laugh. But then, are they really laughing? Are they really happy? Is the party happy? Are the people that are in their party, within the party, happy? Yes, they are, because they are eating. What about those people who doesn't want to support the government? What about those people who doesn't want to associate themselves with the government? The real answer is that ODM is dead. Somebody once said that ODM party was buried during the time that Odinga was buried in Bondo, and now I agree. Now there are three questions that I've seen people asking. Apart from that of what direction is ODM taking, which I've said that the dispute may be about more than an individual. This dispute has been all up, okay, it has been hidden around Edwin Sifuna, but the truth of the matter is, it is not about Edwin Sifuna. Let's take a look at this. Somebody is asking that, should ODM remain a strong opposition force? My answer is that ODM is not an opposition right now. The opposition that we have right now is the united opposition, which is being led by people like Rigathi Gachagua and Edwin Sifuna. So Edwin Sifuna's Linda Mwananchi is the greatest opposition that the government has, yet it is just a sub-branch of ODM. Another person is asking that, should it cooperate more closely with the government? It is already cooperating with the government. There is nothing like should it. It decided to cooperate with the government, and I know that it will stick to that up to the end. There is nothing to do with should it not, no. That is something that is happening, and it will continue to happen like that. Who will define the party's future after all these things? Of course, we know that people were looking at after the death of Raila Odinga, after the demise of Raila Odinga, people are like, who is going to make ODM stable? Who is going to stabilize ODM? The person or the people that could have stabilized ODM are the ones now that have been sent out of ODM by the old folks who think that everything circulates around age. Sometimes age is just a number. What matters is what you have in your brain. Do you really think that Oburu has got a goodwill for ODM's future? Do you think that Gladys Wanga has a goodwill for the future of ODM? Do you think that Otiende Amolo, Honorable Me, those people have got goodwill or are of goodwill when we start talking about the future of ODM as a political party in Kenya? None of them is serious about it. The people that could have been serious about it are people like Babu Owino, Edwin Sifuna, Caleb Amisi, Otsotsi. Those are the ones that could have stabilized ODM, and at least they could have built the future of ODM, but now they've been sent out. They've gone, and they've gone with the people. These people that these guys were holding or were having cannot go back to this party. That is why they are insisting that Edwin Sifuna has been fought. And of course, the fight has not been all about Edwin Sifuna at all. It has been about who gets to write ODM's next pages and next chapter, and Edwin Sifuna is going to write it in a different place. People are saying that ODM and that Edwin Sifuna is supposed to form his own political party, and according to me, I also feel like Edwin Sifuna should form his political party so that they can work closely with people like Babu Owino, and James Bob Agri Orengo should give them direction of what next to do. But one thing that they should not do, or they should avoid doing, is going again to appeal for this issue. Let it slide. Let it slide. Let it slide so that those people can regret on what they've done or what they did. Anyway, that is just my opinion and that is just my thought. But the last thing that I can say before I leave you, so that you can also tell me what you think in the comment section, is when we started, I was telling you about Aida Odinga's position and her voice. And you know, in politics, sometimes symbolism matters. And right now, I would say that Mama Aida Odinga could have been a very good symbol. At least when you know, people came up with a lot of stories. Like Raila told me this, Baba told me that before he died. You know, even those people that were never told anything created stories because they knew that Raila Odinga was not there that could defend himself. Why is it that Mama Aida Odinga was just silent? If at all she wanted Edwin Sifuna to retain his position as the SG of ODM and make sure that the legacy of ODM or the legacy of Raila Odinga Baba is maintained up to the end, then Aida Odinga could have just come out and say that, oh, you know what? Baba told me that Edwin Sifuna should not go out of ODM. You know, if people believed what other people said about Baba told me, what do you think? What makes people think that maybe they could have not believed what Aida Odinga, or maybe what makes Aida Odinga think that people could have not believed what she said or what she could have said about Edwin Sifuna? Angeamka tunasema kwamba, you know what? Baba said that Edwin Sifuna is ODM and ODM is Edwin Sifuna and Edwin Sifuna is going nowhere. Everybody could have believed him for that matter. Could have believed her. But she ignored that. She ignored and she's like, nothing. Like, you know, there is nothing like that. You know, we can't talk about things like those. That is mistakes, and that is a mistake, and that is where a lot of things normally happen. And I think what I can say is William Ruto succeeded in what he wanted. Ruto knew very well that if Mama Aida Odinga remains an idle person without anything to do or anything doing, then she could have really concentrated on ODM and made the ODM strong. And the target of William Ruto was to make ODM very weak. And I think I can say that I think he succeeded by giving Aida Odinga a job to do, so that whenever something is happening in ODM which involves William Ruto, Aida Odinga could have, is looking at it and saying that, after all, huyu jamaa amenipa kazi, sasa mbona nivurutani na yeye, you know, something like that, you know. Kwa nini nivurutane na huyu mtu? That is why Aida Odinga is silent. That is why Aida Odinga is not saying anything, because at the end of the day, I'm not being fed by that party. I'm not being fed by that party. Hiyo party, hiyo chama hata inipi chakula. That is why Aida Odinga is silent. That is why Aida Odinga is silent. Otherwise, angekuwa anazungumza, tungekuwa tunamsikiza. No, tuseme tu kweli, tungekuwa tunamsikiza. Hiyo ni ukweli. Ukweli wa mambo ni kwamba tungekuwa tunamsikiza. And I've also looked at this thing. This one is just when I'm winding up. Let me just say this. That one thing is very clear right now, that Edwin Sifuna's removal has become more than an internal party's matter. And when you try to look at the reaction from people like Oburu Odinga, Aida Odinga, it is really transforming into a test of ODM's unity, identity, and future's direction. Like right now, we can't say that ODM has any future. ODM has no future, kabisa. So I think you can tell me this, or you can answer me this at the comment section, that as it stands right now, how do you perceive, or how do you see the future of ODM in the hands of these folks who have opened their mouths to be eating in the government? That is my opinion. That is my thought. Let me know what you think at the comment section. Please don't forget to click the subscribe button. You also tell me what you think and where exactly you are watching this video from. Until we meet again in the next video, if it's possible, I'll be your host, Boniface.